Welcome, apprentices and acolytes and wayseekers. With the recent promotion of Ahsoka, the Star Wars series has revealed that one of the newest characters being introduced is a survivor of Order 66. However, many fans have concluded that Order 66 was a failure, suggesting that numerous Jedi remain to challenge Darth Sidious in his power of the Empire. But I want to shed some light on the true success of Order 66 and explain why no Jedi could pose a threat to the Emperor. Are you ready to unlock some knowledge, fam? Ready up. Order 66 stands as one of the greatest achievements in the history of Star Wars, marking the eradication of the Jedi Order that had guided the galaxy since its inception. This act resulted in the ousting and persecution of an entire society, with the Jedi's closest allies, their best friends, and even their lovers turning against them. But let's figure out just how many Jedi there were present during Order 66 and their survival rate. At the time of the Order's execution, approximately 10,000 active Jedi served the Republic and fought in the Clone Wars. There were several in temples and several that were fighting on the front lines. But after Order 66, George Lucas himself had confirmed that only 50 to 100 Jedi survived the assault. Now, with only 50 to 100 Jedi, let's better understand the survivors as we categorize them based on power levels. Now, this isn't going to be all of the Jedi, these are just going to be some main examples that we can use as guidelines in the video. So first off, the top tier. The top tier list comprises of the most powerful Jedi who survived. This includes notable characters like Ahsoka Tano, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Grand Master Yoda. The second list is the mid-tier characters. The mid-tier characters are strong, but they don't have the capabilities or force-sensitive prowess that we see in the top-tier characters. This list includes characters like Reva, Terran Malakos from Jedi Fallen Order, and Cal Kestis from Jedi Fallen Order. These characters possess considerable abilities, but again, fall short of the top tier list. And finally, the low tiers. This tier encompasses the weakest Jedi who managed to survive Order 66, and it's represented by individuals like Grogu, Nari, and Caleb Dune. While these are just a few examples of those that survived Order 66, these serve as illustrations that none of them posed a significant threat to the Emperor and his empire. Grand Master Yoda and Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi were the most powerful Jedi characters that survived Order 66. However, they proved powerless against the might of the dark side and Darth Sidious. As witnessed in Revenge of the Sith, Yoda, despite giving his all, failed to defeat Darth Sidious on Coruscant. Ultimately, this gave him the realization that he needed to self-impose exile after his defeat. Similarly, Obi-Wan Kenobi, while victorious over Anakin Skywalker on Mustafar, failed to deliver the final blow to his former apprentice, ending the possibility of Anakin Skywalker completing his process into Darth Vader. This is an oversight that became one of the greatest mistakes in Star Wars history. Over time, both Yoda and Kenobi experienced a decline in their power due to the weight of their failures, and of course, the state of the galaxy. The galaxy at this point became a toxic environment for the Jedi, as darkness shrouded the galaxy and the Force. The struggle to maintain their light-sightedness grew increasingly challenging, which of course contrasts with the era when the galaxy remained in balance and all the Jedi were alive. Introducing a character like Reva in the Kenobi series showcases the immense failure Obi-Wan Kenobi saw himself as during the times of the Empire. This served as a constant reminder of the Jedi he failed, not only to survivors like Nari that we see in Kenobi, but also to his brother and former Padawan, Anakin Skywalker, who suffered a darker fate due to the Master's shortcomings. This, of course, takes a massive toll on Kenobi and, of course, his connection to the Force. Kenobi and Yoda represented the galaxy's greatest hope in overthrowing Darth Sidious. But despite their lingering powers after Order 66, and of course their eventual deaths during the original trilogy era, maintained the Emperor's unwavering grip and control of the galaxy. Understanding that Kenobi and Grandmaster Yoda, even at their peak, were incapable of removing Darth Sidious from his throne, we must acknowledge the unmatched power of the Emperor compared to other Force sensitives in that era. Darth Sidious continued to grow in power after Revenge of the Sith, cementing his status as the most powerful entity in the galaxy by the time of Return of the Jedi. One of the most impressive feats and demonstrations of his power comes from Thrawn alliances, where the Emperor senses an unprecedented disturbance in the Force. In his response, he dispatches his top men, Grand Admiral Thrawn and Darth Vader, to investigate these suspicions. Thrawn and Vader discover a previously unknown species of aliens capable of kidnapping Force-sensitive children who possess the rare ability to navigate hyperspace in uncharted regions. This specific feat showcases the Emperor's astonishing connection and power of the Force. He detects a Force-sensitive child using minute abilities from the far reaches of the Outer Rim, while he himself resides in his throne on Coruscant. The level of power to detect another Force sensitive from across the galaxy is absolutely insane, and is by far one of the most impressive feats in Star Wars. And if Darth Sidious decided to do this with every single Force sensitive that survived Order 66, well, it's game over. It's even more game over when it's worth noting that Darth Vader was essentially the main person doing the Emperor's dirty work, hunting down and eliminating the remaining Jedi. But we also must understand that the remaining surviving Jedi lacked significant power. When you consider Nari from the Kenobi series, this Jedi barely capable of escaping due to their unimpressive abilities, which ultimately led to their demise. And of course, the Inquisitors who killed Nari were not the most powerful individuals, and we get great examples of this evidence in Star Wars Rebels, and of course, the Kenobi series. And yes, even if we include strong candidates like Caleb Dune, who became a very decent Jedi during the final arc of Kanan Jarrus in Star Wars Rebels, or of course, Taron Malicos in Jedi Fallen Order, these Jedi often succumb to the dark side and fall, or just lose their way. For instance, Kanan nearly abandoning the Jedi path, and had it not been for his encounter with Ezra, he might have never reconnected with the Force as strongly as he did while mentoring the young apprentice in Star Wars Rebels. As we've seen repeatedly with Dark Jedi, falling to the dark side never proves to be a viable solution, which of course Malicos gives us the greatest representation of this in Jedi Fallen Order. Even if you somehow managed to team up with all of these fantastic Jedi that lived and survived during the era of Order 66, none of them are coming out on top of Darth Sidious and Darth Vader. They were a powerhouse, and they made sure light did not survive in their galaxy of darkness. It is evident that Darth Sidious and the pervasive darkness that controlled the galaxy rendered any surviving Jedi incapable of posing a significant threat. Therefore, Order 66 must be considered as one of the greatest successes, not only in establishing the Empire, but also extinguishing hope throughout the galaxy. The most crucial element the Jedi represented in their era they were alive. Without hope, there would be no rebellion, and without rebellion, there would be no Luke Skywalker. Darth Vader, the only one capable of challenging the Emperor's rule, becomes the galaxy's sole chance at restoring balance to the Force and the galaxy itself. Consequently, Darth Vader's decision to save Luke Skywalker stands as one of the most pivotal choices in all of Star Wars. Without it, the Last Jedi, Luke Skywalker, would perish, leaving only the Emperor to reign supreme. And that's the beauty of Star Wars. Choice rules all. The choice to fall to the dark side, using your lust, sacrificing your love and your friendship for the sake of power. Darth Vader suffered from his choices, and even in this state, he is still the chosen one. The chosen one that wants to save their son, and only their son is able to bring them back to the light. And in that moment is the only threat posed to Darth Sidious and the Empire. Thank you, apprentices, acolytes, and wayseekers, and anyone that decided to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this makes a little bit more sense about why Order 66 was by far the greatest success for the Emperor and Darth Sidious. If you have any takes on it, I would love to discuss it peacefully inside the comment section. Hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you so much, and I'll see you around, fam. Make sure you subscribe. Deuces.